The new channel. See the new. The new channel. See the new. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the new channel where we help you see the new you. This is Dr. Mike Chua streaming live here in Tennessee. And in behalf of my co-host Bert in Texas, this is iBusiness. Good morning there in the Philippines, and obviously good evening here in beautiful Martin, Tennessee. I'm here in Martin, Tennessee. It's 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and obviously there in the Philippines, it's 9:30 in the morning. So good morning there, Pilipinas. What is going on in the Philippines? And today, welcome here in iBusiness Show, wherein we help you improve your influence and impact in your specific industry by being and teaching you how to be a mentor. And that's why we call it iBusiness. You know, I is improve your influence and impact in your industry. But today I am obviously missing my co-host, Bert. Bert, please get well soon. He's getting better, he said. So he's just there recovering and getting better every day. But today, as usual, I have my daily calendar. You know, if you don't have a calendar, you have to get a calendar. Obviously, you need that. So today we have a special quote for you today. Well, of course, I put down Wednesday, July 15th there in the Philippines. Wednesday, sometimes you have to take a step back to move on forward. Sometimes in life, you have to step back to move on forward, just like our awesome host, awesome director here, Lloyd Luna. He's got this program called Step Back Leadership, and it says here, sometimes you have to take a step back to move on forward. You cannot see the picture if you are inside the picture. You have to move back to see the actual frame, just like my diploma here and the pictures that I have in my family there. You cannot see the actual picture if you don't step back. And same thing in life, same thing in starting a business. You have to step back to see the actual real picture. But today, we have a special guest. I'm just excited. I've been sharing this and promoting this and everything, and I'm just really don't know how to say this, but it's a dream come true for me. You know, and sometimes in life, you have to keep dreaming, ladies and gentlemen. When I was in the Philippines, I was already listening to him. I was listening to his dad already. And up until when I came here in the States, I have his books and everything like that. See you at the top book. And it's just a dream come true for me. So today I have a special guest, and he's actually, without further ado, I'm going to start reading his stuff here. As the CEO of Ziglar Incorporation, Tom is our special guest for today. Carries on his legacy of his dad. Says here, Zig Ziglar's philosophy: you can have everything in life you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. And this is this philosophy here. And at first I was like, really? Can I get anything in life? But now that I'm realizing it, now that I'm actually doing therapy and I'm helping other patients, I'm helping other people get what they want in life. Guess what? I'm getting better. I'm getting more patients nowadays. I'm getting more influence in my group. So you just have to follow the simple philosophy here. So before I keep going and read this stuff here, if you're watching live, please comment live. We want to know if you're watching live. I see people there in our Facebook group watching there. So please comment live if you're watching live. And if you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. And of course, put down where you at, what city are you at, what state you're at, and of course, in the Philippines, put down the where you at, what city and area you are at in the Philippines, so we could call you out and say hi, hello. So let me start again reading Tom's introduction here. So Tom was a key collaborator with his father on Zig Ziglar's 30th book. Gosh, 30th book, Born to Win. The Born to Win philosophy is both profoundly simple and simply profound. If you're watching and listening with Zig Ziglar, he does this all the time. He would say simple stuff like this, and it's so profound, it's so simple that you're like, oh yeah, that's right. So it says here, you must plan to win and prepare to win. Then and only then you expect to win. Oh gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to learn more from Tom. So Tom's greatest business triumphs are the results of bringing people to this realization elementary realization. Sometimes you just have to remember. I call him dad because every day I still listen to his automobile university, and every day he would say, you need to talk just like you need to, when you're explaining something, you need to talk like you're talking to a third grader, not because you're talking down to them, but you're explaining to your clients in a very simple way. And that's what I do with my patients. I'm explaining to them in a very simple way. If you can make a situation, a complex situation, simple, they're going to really believe in you. They're going to really enjoy you. And this is what Tom's going to talk about today. So let me go back. It says here, you are born to win, so go ahead and live to win. You can have a life of success and significance, and you can leave a legacy that will ripple through eternity. And this is what Zig has been doing for all of his life. He's been teaching us. He's been teaching every people how to ripple through eternity. Now, it says here his first solo title, this is Tom, Choose to Win, was published and released in March 2019. It expands the Ziglar branding and philosophy to include the secret to winning in life is one good choice at a time. You cannot do everything at all. You need to choose one at a time. A more productive, fulfilling, and meaningful life is available to those willing to follow his easy to implement sequence of making one small choice at a time through the time-tested 7 key areas. What are the 7 key areas? Mental, spiritual, physical, family, financial, personal, and career. Gosh. So Tom speaks around the world to billion-dollar companies, small business owners, and prestigious academic institutions, including Cambridge and Harvard. Leadership, business, and performance are among Tom's favorite topic. Oh gosh, it's just reading this, gives me goosebumps. Gives me goosebumps just actually talking to him right now. His unique education, life experience, and innate gifts perfectly positions Tom to serve top executives. His ability to hone the crux of business issues and provide premium level coaching allows his clients to take their business further than they've dreamed impossible. Imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. He's providing premium level coaching, not just simple level, premium level coaching. That's why my clinic is called Premier Physical Therapy, right? The Ziglar brand is more relevant today than ever. Ziglar has exceeded 5 million likes on Facebook, and the Ziglar Show has become one of the top ranked business podcasts. I listen to it every single day. I listen to his host there, Kevin Miller. And again, the world is hungry for inspiration, motivation, and hope. Without further ado, please welcome Tom Ziglar, CEO of Ziglar Company. There's background clap. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited after an introduction like that, but it's got to be good, right?
I know it's like what I said, Tom. It's just a dream come true for me. So again, I know I introduced you, but please tell us where you're from right now. What state are you at? What are you currently doing with the Ziglar company, and how are you improving your influence and impact in your industry there?
Yeah, you bet. So our headquarters is in Dallas, Texas. And I'm coming to you from my house in Plano, Texas, just a suburb. And, really blessed to get to carry on the legacy that my father, Zig Ziglar, left us. Just an amazing individual. In fact, one of the things that's interesting is now there's over 45 books out that he wrote. Over almost about 10 of the books have come out since he passed away. So that just continues to grow, but our company has had to reinvent. I don't know if you've noticed the news, but things are going on around the world. The way we've done business in the past is a little bit different. And so we've pivoted, we've shifted, and our focus now is a little bit different. Zig Ziglar, my father, his focus was inspiring, encouraging, and motivating individuals from all walks of life. He had that amazing ability to connect with you. You talked about Automobile University. When you listen to one of those audio programs, it's almost like he's in the car with you. So many people come to me and they say, hey, your dad's my dad too. And I can't really think of a better compliment than that. Now the company, we carry on and we're a little bit focused in a different area. We still have the encouragement, the materials, the things for the individual, but our primary focus is to work with people who are intentionally building a legacy by design, coaches, speakers, and trainers. And our goal is to help transform, encourage, support, and equip them to be successful so that they can go and change the world. That's really what legacy is about. Legacy is about equipping those you love to make good decisions in the most challenging times. And when they do that, then the legacy is secure.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You mentioned about dad, if we say dad, right? I call him dad too. I was just, me and my wife, we were talking about it, and we were just talking about, I haven't met you yet in Facebook or whatever. And I was still listening to Dad, Zig Ziglar in the Philippines. And I was like telling my wife, imagine you have a parent like this. How what would you be when you grow up? And I remember there was a part where Dad Zig Ziglar talked about him training you, hiring somebody to train you for your physical exercises and everything, and actually teaching you how to lose weight, how to be better. And imagine having a dad like that. I just can't imagine living in a household like that. So I guess my next question, Tom, I know it's a personal question. Was it hard having a dad who was very successful or really like lectures you every day? Is it good or is it bad or did it work for you? Can you share that?
This is a blessing that he gave us. He told me and my sisters this. He said, whatever you want to do with your life, he said, I'm going to support you. I only require two things. One, that you do it with 100% integrity. And two, you give it 100% effort. And so when you think about it, what more powerful message can we give our children? Look, I'm behind you. I support you. I want you to become the person God created you to become. But whatever you choose to do, go for it 100% and do it with integrity. And that's just an incredible. So as good as Dad was on stage, he was even better off stage.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is such amazing. And it's nice to really hear coming from an actual, what you call this, son or kid of Zig Ziglar. Well, and then you also mentioned about the coaches, speakers, and trainers. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live, please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. The reason we also have Tom here is actually we want him to actually explain to us how you can become a coach, how you can become a speaker, and how you become a trainer. And that's what the legacy is of Zig Ziglar is doing or creating. He's going to teach us, he's actually teaching us how you can become a coach, how you can become a trainer, and how you become a speaker. And a lot of us here, we want to find that specific niche. We want to find that specific a market to serve. In Ziglar's program, they're going to teach you how to actually do this, and they do a step-by-step program on how to find your specific niche. Am I correct, Tom?
Yes. In fact, one of the things that we did is last year, when the book Choose to Win came out, we then turned that book into a coaching program. And we've been certifying coaches for 5 or 6 years now. And as we looked at that, we realized that there were some key ingredients. So we actually created a system. And I'll just go through there's 5 points in the system. And this is what we provide and support when somebody comes through us and wants to become a Choose to Win coach. But if you're already a coach or you have your own desires to create your own coaching program, I believe these 5 points will work for you. It's essential. And so here are the 5 points. You've got to be the right person. You got to have the right program. You got to have the right process. You need support, and you need to understand business systems. And so I'll just break that down. So many people come to us and they're like, you know what, in my heart, I've always wanted to be a coach, but who's ever going to call me? Who would ever want to be coached by me? And there's a misconception. And the misconception is that, you need to be a famous celebrity or a best-selling author or, some sort of national hero in order to be a coach. The reality is the best coaches are the ones who've overcome incredible obstacles. They've had challenges in their life. They may have been a victim, or they may have had things happen beyond their control. It could be an illness. It could be a family situation that they didn't have any control over. Or sometimes people, we make bad mistakes. We make decisions we wish we could take back, and they overcome that. And so either way, if you've overcome the obstacles and in the process of that, you've had a mentor or somebody who helped you through that, then I believe that you are perfectly positioned to be a fantastic coach. And so that's the first thing. Is the thing that holds people back from doing it is a lack of belief. It's a misunderstanding and a misconception that they have to be perfect. No, none of us are perfect. If you understand what it is and what it takes to overcome something, then you're in a perfect position. Number 2 is when you coach somebody, you got to have the right program. And what does that mean? Well, at Ziglar, we've got 5 decades of the right program. We've literally have millions of people who can testify to that, to the teaching. But what does it mean for you? It means that whatever program you teach, whatever material you teach, it has to be based on truth. In other words, if somebody follows the directions, they need to end up where they were trying to go, right? It needs to take them there. The third one is you've got to have the right process. And this is key. So a lot of times you'll get a good person in coaching and they've got a good program, but they're really not a student. They don't understand the process that you have to encourage and lead someone through. Coaching is about discovery. Coaching is about clarification. Coaching is about asking the right kind of questions. And when you have it laid out in a process, or whoever you're working with, where they discover what it is they need to do next, and you're there more as the coach and the guide, that's what you want. So we've got the person, the program, and the process. The fourth one is you got to have support. And for us, what that means is it's hard to go it alone. If you've never done it before, if you don't have somebody you can call and ask questions, and there's all kinds of great organizations around the world that can do that. But this is something that we build in is the support. And finally, the fifth one is you've got to know the business systems. And in coaching, if you want a profitable business in coaching, then you know what? You need to know how to market. You need to know how to schedule your time. You need to know how to use social media and the tools that you have. You need to know the different ways to build your business and to scale it and to get referrals. And so that's something else that we teach. You can get all of those on your own or from different sources. But whatever you do, if you want to build a successful coaching practice, you need to make sure that you're solid in all 5 of those areas. And really, for a trainer or a speaker, it's a different area. It's a different mode. A speaker's in front of a large group. A trainer's more interactive. But those 5 steps, those 5 keys really work there as well.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, before I say anything about what Tom was talking about, I just want to give a shout out to those people who are watching live right now. Jen Rosario, she said this. She's praying for Doc Bert's fast recovery. Thank you very much, Jen, for giving a shout out to Bert. I'm sure he's watching right now. And Donna Gray, she said she's watching live. And Juan Lu, he's watching also right now. Thank you for watching. I love your puppet stories, Mr. Juan Lu. I really appreciate that. And then I see Emelisa. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you watching live there from Angono, Rizal. Thank you very much. So before I keep on shouting out there on those people who are watching, I just would like to give a summary on what Tom said. It's just amazing, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not writing things down, you gotta learn how to write these things down. You know, one thing that Zig Ziglar taught me, I'm going to say him dad. One thing that dad told me, you got to write things down in order for it to become a reality. And I remember there was this lady that actually, the story about her going to Zig Ziglar and asking, hey, how can I change my co-employees? And Zig Ziglar said, well, you got to get a piece of paper and write things down. And that lady said, I'm not going to write things down. Well, Zig Ziglar said, you have to write things down because that's the first thing that you need to do is take action. So that's what I do, ladies and gentlemen. I write everything down. So if you didn't write this down, you got to write it down. First thing he said, it's the right person. Who are you actually serving? Who are you actually serving? And are you serving them well? So right person. Next is letter P. Next letter P is program. What kind of program are you offering? What kind of specific niche or market are you serving? Next is the letter P. Another P is process. What kind of process? You know, what kind of process are you doing? You know, you just can't just do this randomly. Same thing in the therapy world. I have a process that I do. I come in, I do an initial evaluation. I just don't come in and just do, okay, let's do exercise. No, I have a process that I do. I check their vital signs first, blood pressure, heart rate, I listen to their heart and to their lungs. And there's a process on that. There's a science behind it. And next is letter S, support. Do you have a support system? Do you have a support system? That's what Tom is talking about. You need to have a support system. In my case, I don't do it all. I have somebody who does my faxing. I have somebody who answers the phone. I have somebody who takes care of this and takes care of that. I don't do everything. You need to have support. And last is the system. Is there a system in place in your own coaching business or in your own business itself? Because if there's no system, it's nothing. That's why we call it body system. We have circulatory system. You know, we've got the digestive system, the neurological system. So there needs to be a system in place. Before I bring Tom back, I just want to give a shout out to Ira. Ira, thank you very much for watching. Good morning from Tarlac, Philippines. Oh, I see my sister-in-law watching. Thank you very much, Bebang, for watching. Well, anyway, I'm going to bring Tom back. Not me, but the director. There you go. Tom, I know you mentioned all these 5 processes here. How do you mentioned about you mentioned about the big challenges, right? The big challenges. And if there is a big challenge, how do we overcome it? I mean, I know Dad's been talking about that again and again, but how do you think we can overcome some challenges? Because we got so much challenges right now. Please coach me right now. Please coach me. So how do we do that?
Yeah, actually, one of the things that is just with the COVID-19, I mean, this is a global thing. It's everywhere. Everybody's lives are upside down. remote in the States, remote working before this was about 15% of the population. Now it's over 60%. People working from home, people fairly certain that even when things go back to an environment we don't worry about COVID, probably 30 to 40% of the people are going to stay from working from home most of the time. And that's a huge change. So that's a disruption. That is something that really challenges people. And being at home, a lot of people have, anxiety and worry and fear and anxiousness. All these things have come up. Why? Because either, some people have lost their job. They don't have that source of income like they did, or the work that they are doing is so different that it's just such a huge change. And so I call it the 3 a.m. wake up call. And I'm just, probably if you're like me, in the last 4 months, you might have lost some sleep. You might have woken up in the middle of the night worrying about something, being anxious about something, and that can really be a challenge. And so here's a process that I teach. I love processes. And so the first thing that I do when I wake up in the middle of the night, and by the way, you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night for this to work. You can go and create a quiet space in the middle of the day. So the first thing you do is you get a quiet space. You get some place where you're not going to be interrupted. And you need that kind of that peace and that quiet. And you get out your pen, like Dr. Mike was talking earlier, you start writing a gratitude list. So the first thing you want to do is you want to write a gratitude list. And the reason that you want to do that is because you're going to want to change your mindset. You need to drive the fear out. And one of the things that we know is that gratitude and anxiousness and worry and fear, they can't occupy the same space. So you drive that fear out by writing the gratitude list. And I would say write down everything you can for 3, 4, 5 minutes. I mean, make the list long. Think of everything. And then the second thing you want to do is you want to create a victory list. And in the victory list, and this is what I do personally, is you reflect on your life, the things that you've done well, the projects you've finished, maybe any awards that you got, anything, a relationship that you created or recovered, anything that you look back on and you say, you know what, I did well in that. So what are we really talking about? If you have a major obstacle or challenge or problem you're trying to overcome, you've got to put your mind in a position to be creative, to be able to move away from the fear of the flight, the fight, and the freeze. That's kind of our instinct. The third thing that you want to do after you've got those two things down is I learned this from my good friend Bob Bodine, and it's called 2 chairs. And this is me, and this is a spiritual thing that I do. I get 1 chair for myself, and I get 1 chair for God. And I have a conversation. And the conversation kind of goes like this. I ask 3 questions. Question number 1, God, do you know what's going on? Question number 2, God, are you big enough to handle it? Okay. So those are the rhetorical questions. Of course, the creator of the universe knows what's going on and can handle it. And the third one is this: what's the plan? So I've shared my problem with God, and now I'm saying, what's the plan? And this is the hard part. I'm quiet and don't do anything except for meditate and listen. And that takes about 4 or 5 minutes. That's all that takes. And then I write the problem down in detail. Because here's the thing. Zig Ziglar, Dad said this. He said, to identify a problem is not negative. It's positive. It only becomes negative if you focus on the problem. It's positive to focus on the solution. And so what we do at this point is we write the problem down, whatever it is that's keeping us up, and we write it down in detail. And then we follow a problem-solving system. We ask ourselves different questions, and I can talk about that later or get you information on that. But you write it all down, and this is the key, okay? Once you've got the system down, what's the problem? What are my benefits from solving the problem? What are the obstacles I've got to overcome to solve that problem? Who are the people I need to work with to solve this problem? What are the skills and knowledge that I need to acquire to solve this problem? What's the plan of action? And then the date I'm going to do it. Okay. So what you literally do is you write down everything that you can take action on right now. And here's something that's kind of amazing is we'll discover that we can take action on a good percentage of that problem. But then we'll also find that there are things that are keeping us up at night that we can't do anything about. We can't do anything about COVID-19. We can't do anything about, the national economy. We can't do anything about how other people are going to react or respond to what's going on. And if that's keeping us up, then we've got this responsibility, and that's to turn it over. That's to give it to the creator and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to work on my part. I'm trusting you to work on yours. So you do that. You've got your plan of action. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you go back to sleep, right? If it's not, get busy, get working on it. But once you take action on it, now the problem is that we feel overwhelmed, and there's so many things coming at us from all sides that we never take the time to get quiet, to get our mind right, to get help, to write it down and detail what we can do, and then let go of the things that we have no control. And then finally, we take action.
Speaking of taking action, we're going to do a quick break. We'll be back after all this simple gap. Thank you. All right, welcome back to iBusiness Show, wherein we help you improve your influence and impact by following the mentor method. But before I bring Mr. Tom back, I just would like to give a special shout out to our shows here at the new channel. Obviously, the big picture with Mr. Lloyd Luna. Yep, with Mr. Lloyd Luna. Mondays to Fridays at 7 p.m. That is the Philippine time, obviously, right? And of course, the HR hotline. I was just watching this yesterday with Mr. Jesse Rebustillo every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. You got to watch that. It's just amazing. I've learned a lot there. How to hire slowly and fire fast, right? And of course, the fourth project with Mr. Bob Quilapio. This is coming to you live in Dubai every Wednesday and Saturdays at 7 p.m. And of course, with Miss Carmine Ortega, Mondays and Thursdays, 10:30 in the morning, where she not only helps you make a U-turn, she would ask you how to turn if you're turning left, turning right, and make a U-turn in your life, right? And of course, Mr. Dante Salamat, the home buyer. The home buyer. I wish I could be a home buyer there in the Philippines every Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. And of course, Mr. Juan Lu, who was watching with us earlier, the Puppet Stories. He's very entertaining. You got to watch this, guys. You got to watch this because he's not only entertaining, you learn a lot from him. Every Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. And of course, at TNC Original, the world premiere of The Marketplace this coming July 16 at 10 p.m. This is obviously Philippine time. You got to watch this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the perfect time to talk about that marketplace. And of course, the new one, the talk, facilitated by no other than himself, Mr. Dennis Calamba. Yes, sir. Mr. Dennis, July 20th at 12 noon. You guys got to watch this. The world premiere. All right, before I bring Mr. Tom back, I just would like to give a shout out to those people who are watching. Grace, thank you very much for watching. She said, great topic. And of course, Miss Cho Litas Plana, thank you for watching. She is in Tarlac, Philippines. Look at that beautiful face there. Miss Cho, thank you very much. And of course, Grace said, I am so impressed that the discussion included our God, who is the planner and designer of our life. Of course, you got to make sure you're listening to those people who are actually gonna help you, and that's the reason why I'm attracted to Zig Ziglar's program. Is that because he just lifts up God in all his lectures and everything. He doesn't hold back on all his I say preaching, right, and all his lectures. And of course, I just would like to give a special shout out again to Mr. Tom, because he is not only following his dad's legacy, he's actually nurturing it. He's actually making it bigger. He's making it, he's scaling it, just like a talent, the parable of talent in the Bible. When God gives you something, you have to make sure you're expanding it, because if you don't use it, you obviously lose it. So before I bring him back, I just would like to give a summary, not a summary, but a special shout out to what he was talking about here earlier. He said the three things on your quiet time, your 3 a.m. wake up call, right? First, it says here, you have to write down a gratitude list. You have to write down. I have a journal here, like a big journal. I write down stuff every day, and I put down gratitude stuff there. Today, I'm thankful for this, because this is not even just a coaching thing. It's not even just a motivational thing. It's a science thing. There's a part in your brain called your reticular activating system. So whatever you're focusing on gets magnified. If you focus on the good things, guess what? It's going to be magnified. If you focus on imagine when I was in the Philippines, I was driving a green Volkswagen Beetle. I drove an old Volkswagen Beetle. And guess what? Everywhere I look, there's an old Volkswagen Beetle. Now that I drive a gray Honda CRV, guess what? I see Honda CRVs all over the place here. And same thing in life, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Zig and Tom has been preaching. Whatever you're focusing on gets magnified. So if you focus on the gratitude that you have in life, if you're thankful, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking at your victory list, guess what? that's going to be magnified. You're not denying the fact that there are other cars in the road. You're not denying the fact that there is COVID all over. But what you want to focus on are the good, the positive, the uplifting. So again, I'm going to stop. I want to learn more from Mr. Tom. I'm going to bring him back. Mr. Tom, there you go, sir. Thank you very much. I'm learning so much. And before I keep going, I know I can talk all the time, right? You talked about the 3 a.m. wake up call. And do you sleep after that?
I've learned usually when I'm called to get up at that time, it's for a reason. So I don't fight it. I get up and make it productive. Power through the day or get a power nap and get back to work. So, yeah, it's usually God says, hey, we need some time together, and that's when it's going to be.
That's true. That is so true. That is so true. So, Tom, now that you have followed Dad's footstep, now that you're doing everything, what will be next step for the Ziglar company? I mean, what's the next step in your life, so
well, I tell you what, we've been extremely blessed. We talked earlier about the Choose to Win coaching system that we created, and that's an entirely online course, and because of that, we have coaches all over the world, and our business has actually increased this year over last year, even through all the stuff that we're in. And so what we're trying to do is really dig deep into equipping others. I tell people all the time, we're in over 20 countries now with our training and our coaching, and everybody who comes through, I'm like, you know what, you're gonna reach people and touch people we could never meet, and you know what, that's an awesome responsibility for us. Something else that I love to do. There's a quote from a mentor of mine. His name is Rabbi Daniel Lapin. Pardon?
I said, past the Rabbi Daniel.
He's good stuff. So he says, when you solve a problem, you're often rewarded with a certificate of appreciation. We call that money. And the more problems you solve, the more certificates of appreciation that you get. And this is the great quote, okay? And it's very similar to Dad's quote. Dad's quote is, you can have everything in life you want if you'll help enough other people get what they want. And I'll just show my backdrop there so everybody's watching this can see it. I mean, that's the quote, right? I mean, that's the legendary Zig Ziglar quote. That's how we operate our business, how we do everything. But Rabbi Lapin said this. He said, God is never happier with his children than when they're solving the problems of his other children. And so the way I look at a time like this, when there's so many problems, so many challenges, it's literally a target-rich environment. There are problems everywhere. And so if we get busy focusing on how can we solve the problems of our neighbor, of the people we love and care about, the customers that we serve, if we can figure out how to solve their problems, God's going to smile and we're going to be blessed in the process. So a lot of things that we've, pivoted and started to do over the last 4 or 5 months, these are in a direct response to the challenges that we're facing today that we didn't know we would have to face just a few months ago. And so when you say, well, what's the future of Ziglar? It's taken the truth. It's taken this tried and tested material that changes lives, and we're just adapting to meet whatever challenge is out there. So we're bringing it in different ways. Unfortunately, I kind of smile when I say this. There's no such thing as one and done. Dad used to say you need to check up from the neck up to get rid of the stinking thinking and the hardening of the attitudes, right? If you could just get one dose of positivity and be cured, then Zig Ziglar would have cured the world. If you can go to the physical therapist one time and everything's back to normal, right? Wouldn't that be? That's not the way we work. And so unfortunately, for what we do, the opportunity is bigger than it's ever been. And so this is the way I look at it. When we think of problems, that's That's not the right way to think about it. We should look at it as possibilities. Because when we get excited about solving problems, we grow in that process. We know that when we endure trials and we go through the hard fire, then we're curated, we're perfected, we are created resilience to go out and do it. There are going to be people who are going to be doing things next year they never dreamed of, stepping into the greatest opportunity of their life, only because they didn't have a choice. They got pushed out of the nest. And so what we do as an organization is we get people to look at it through the right lens, the lens of not problems, but the lens of possibilities.
Oh, wow. That is so powerful there, Tom. I feel like I'm talking to Dad, but really I'm talking to Tom. Oh, gosh, I don't even know what to say now. But before I keep going, before I say everything, I think, Tom, I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, but I've never in my life been writing everything that the person is saying. I've already got like full of my paper here. So before we keep going, I just would like to give a shout out to Jen. Jen, thank you very much for watching. She said, thank you very much, Dr. Mike, and of course to Mr. Ziglar. Learning a lot here. God is so good. Thank you very much, Jen, for watching. Juan Lu still watching. Thank you, sir. And yes, you are right. According to Ira, whatever you focus on gets magnified. Whatever you focus on gets magnified. And Divina said, this guy is amazing. He has inspired us to go beyond our comfort zone. So thank you very much, Davina, for watching. But I like what Tom said here. From problem to possibilities. From problem to possibilities. And Zig would always say this. You're either in a crisis, getting out of a crisis, or currently in a crisis. So in the middle of those crises lies an opportunity. And I've learned this not only from Zig, I'm learning this from Tom, listening to him, repeating everything. Why? Because repetition is the mother of learning, is the father of action, and the architect of results. And I just rephrase it. But I tell that again and again to my patients. When I tell them to exercise, it's not just one time, just like what Tom was saying. It's just one time. I wish it's one and done, like what Tom said, but you need to keep repeating it again and again in order for you to have that mastery in your body, mastery in your business, mastery in whatever you're doing right now. And I love what Tom is talking about today. So let me bring before I bring Tom back, our producer is saying I got to go on a break real quick. Thank you. We'll be back in a quick break. Are we back? No. All right, we are back. Thank you very much again for watching. If you are watching live again, please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, please comment replay, and please put down where you are watching from. But before I keep on going, I just would like to give a special promo on the world premiere of the Marketplace. Marketplace, July 16 at 10 p.m., obviously in the evening, right? 10 p.m. And I think I'm going to watch that, say yes, say go, say mine. And I want to know what they do there. And of course, the world premiere of The Talk, facilitated by Dennis Calamba. I know he has a nickname, but I forgot his nickname. But this is going to be July the 20th at 12 noon. Again, the Talk by Dennis Calamba. Again, thank you very much for watching. Again, if you are watching live, please comment live. If you're watching on the replay, please comment replay. And please do share our show. This is a very, very good show today. I'm gonna bring Mr. Tom back before we end, and there's so much information that you guys need. If you're watching live, obviously you can't watch it right now and turn it back, but you need to scroll back, or whatever you call that, replay or whatever, because I've learned so much today. And he mentioned about the checkup from the neck up, from stopping us from the stinking thinking. And I remember what the dad said. I'll say, Dad, motivation is just like bathing. You have to do it every day, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do it every day. And same thing if you want to start your own business. Same thing if you want to start your coaching practice. Same thing if you want to just be better. You have to do it every day. Tom, I know you're a very busy man, sir. Thank you very much for watching. Where can we reach you? Is there any website that we can go to? I know you offered us some awesome free stuff. We're going to share it in our show notes and, of course, in our live feed today. Where can we reach you, sir? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the best place is on our website, and it's at Ziglar.com. So Ziglar.com. And the free things that we're offering is a little action guide on creating the right attitude. It's called Stronger. And you can get that at Ziglar.com/stronger. And then one on motivating and leading the remote workforce. There's so many challenges going on. So if you are working remote or you work with others who are, it's a great little tool, and that's free. And you can get that at Ziglar.com/remote.
Oh, wow. Well, again, thank you very much, Tom. I really appreciate you for coming over. You're such an amazing person. Thank you very much for continuing the legacy of Mr. Sig. I'll call him Dad. Thank you very much for continuing the legacy of Dad. This is one of the best, I'm going to say it now. This is the best interview. I'm just having a fan moment. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, I feel like I'm just like a little kid watching and listening to your childhood idol. Let's just say in the Philippines, we have a famous actor like Gabby Concepcion or really famous people. I feel like I'm doing that right now, Tom. So again, thank you very much for everything that you do, Tom. Continue to be awesome. Continue to be great. Thank you for everything that you do. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I love Dad. I love Mom. I appreciate you. And again, thank you very much. For those people who are watching live, please check out the website. We're going to put it on the show notes. Our producer already put it down there. There are free stuff there. Go grab it. It's free right now for those corporations out there who are watching right now. And then if you need to reach out to Tom, just reach out to those websites. But before I let you go, Mr. Tom, any last parting wisdom, any final words for us, sir?
Yeah, there's so many things going on in the world right now. When I was traveling a few years ago, I was in Australia speaking there. And somebody said, they asked me, they said, what's the fastest way to success? And, if we're building a business, if we're an entrepreneur, if we're climbing the ladder in a corporation, if we're, whatever, we could work for the government, nonprofit. It doesn't matter what you do, but this question, what's the fastest way to success? I'd never really heard it asked that way. And just out of my mouth, I said, the fastest way to success is to replace bad habits with good habits. And I want to leave you with that because it's such a simple concept. If you're not where you want to be, that's okay. Maybe you were given bad directions, but once you realize and you take ownership of, hey, I want to change. I want to grow. I want to be something different. All you've got to do is look at some little bad habits that are holding you back and replace those with some little good habits that'll take you closer to where you want to go. And if you do that, and it's driven by a purpose, a why, something that is, that drives you, something that is personal to you. It could be your faith, it could be your family, it could be why God created you, whatever that why is, then literally you can transform your life one simple choice at a time. So thank you so much for having me. What a blessing to be here. It's kind of cool that you can travel all over the world these days from your office at home.
It's amazing. It's actually our pleasure, Tom. I really, really appreciate you. Again, before we keep going, before I let you go, LJ is watching from Muntinlupa City in the Philippines, and Donna said, Zig Ziglar quotes are part of me growing up. Thank you, Tom, for continuing Dad's legacy. And then thank you, Dr. Mike. I mean, I'm just a small guy here learning from Dad's legacy and Tom. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you. But before I let you go, Apple said, please stay back at the backstage, Mr. Tom. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word fast, F-A-S-T, letter F. Find friends that will push you to your next level, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Right now, I'm hanging out with Tom Ziglar. Guess what? I feel like I'm awesome. I feel like I'm crazy. I'm like a fanboy moment right now, right? Find friends that will push you to your next level. Reach out to Tom Ziglar. Go to his website. Sign up. Get those free stuff. Guess what? It's not going to be free soon. Get those free stuff. Download it. Get more information. So find friends that will push you to your next level. Next letter is letter A. You got to learn how to take action, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to do me good. It's not going to do you good if you don't take action on it. Imperfect action beats perfect in action. Imperfect action beats perfect in action. Be fast. Letter S. Shoot for the moon. Why? Because when you miss it, you're going to be landing with a star. I kept shooting for the moon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm missing it. I've failed every day. But guess what? I'm landing with the star. Guess what? Who's the star I landed today? Mr. Tom Ziglar. Gosh, I'm a star. I landed with the stars. And last but not the least, letter T. You got to learn how to teach it. Why? I got this quote from the Ziglars. You teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more. Again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching iBusiness. I appreciate you. Be awesome, be great, be excellent. And we will see you next Thursday, same time, same channel. And I'll see you around. Thank you, and you have a good night. Bye-bye.